12 minutes past 1 o'clock on Capi Talk 100.4 FM. The name is Becky K, and I'm with you from 12 until 3 o'clock every Monday throughout to Thursday. So today, yes, I'm stepping down and then making way for tomorrow. You'll be chilling with the YV. But before I step down, I've got an interesting topic for you today on adulting. And as you know, every Thursday when we do adulting, there is an amazing guest who comes through to talk to us. Last week, mangamuru mu classroom, mangamapiwa chi lecture chi mwesonda kadi right. Nomboksia mji pinzu kwa chukoro. Today, it is going to be school, but it's also going to be fun. It's going to be eye-opening. You are not going to be able to turn off the radio at this point. So if you're at work, just plug in those earphones or the AirPods, pretend you're listening to something. Ameno. Just make it work. Just make it work. So our topic today on adulting is self-acceptance. And our guest, as I told you earlier, is none other than Jackie Muchanyuka Mgido. Dun, 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 and the crowd goes wild.
I love that introduction.
Yes.
I love you for that.
Yes. No, Jackie, you bring in the vibe. I remember when I told my chief producer, our chief programming, I was like, yo, so is Jackie cool to come through? She's like, yo, Jackie Muchanyuka Mgido. I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah. Go with it. Like Jackie, of course. So for those of you who live under a rock, Jackie Muchanyuka Mgido is an entrepreneur, makeup artist, and stylist to the stars. When we say stylist to the stars, not like we ain't playing. Chowadi. She is plugging in Zimbabwe in Hollywood, like for real. Like Hollywood knows Zimbabwe is an actual country in Africa and has functioning people, beautiful people like that because of this girl right here. Absolutely. Jackie. So Jackie started humbly with Volt Cosmetics that she later changed to her name, of which I thought...
Thank you,
madam. Thank you. The first cosmetics brand started by a Zimbabwean to cater to the climate of Africa. Just yesterday, we were speaking to Langa.
And I love Langa too.
And Langa was like, we could not find shades for our dark-skinned girls, and there you are in the modeling industry. And I'm thinking, I've heard Jackie talk about her journey and how she'll be mixing foundations in store, at the department store you worked at. Yeah. And there you are busy mixing and, trying to find shades. And then you were like, you know what? I'm going to help my black sisters 100%. And just sort this thing out. Yep. And then you gave us Volt Cosmetics. That was very popular for their striking makeup that they did. Yep. That purple lip.
I know, right?
Till today, Jackie, what did you do for us?
It was all the bright lips. Remember that, people didn't want to wear bright lips because they didn't want to accept the big voluptuous lips.
They were like, look at my lip,
and
check how thick it is. And then, did you bring me lip gloss?
Nuzia, you come home.
Remember,
that
do you remember the last time when you almost smacked me? Guys, Jackie almost smacked me in public. Because I was chilling with her and then I took out a lip gloss. I will not mention the name. And then she froze. She's like, how dare you? I'm like, what did I do? There I was. You're like, oh, shocked. I wasn't shocked. And Jackie's like, how dare you? I'm like, what did I do?
Right in front of me.
She's like, right in front of me. You bring out another brand. So I'm just like...
Because you're my little sis. You guys are my little...
I'll just die with my cracked lips then. Because I ain't bringing out this lip gloss.
No.
So yeah, you came about and you brought about this new way of doing makeup. I remember when I came back from SA, this was 2015, and I said to my dad, obviously I've been doing this in SA for the past 12 years. Surely I can't be that lost. How wrong I was. And then he gave me $180. And I went to Volt Cosmetics and I bought makeup from Volt. And I'm looking at all this product, I'm thinking, what is this? Because Tata Jairaka, like the everyday stuff that we get, but then your makeup was attention to detail. It was, you use this like this, and you just don't smack this on. And then this gel does this. And I was like, oh, I'm lost. Let me start afresh. I've been doing this for 12 years, but I feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
So I would do like backdoor lessons, and I'd be like, Sha, please help me. I would speak to some of your students.
Right.
And then after they listen to, what did you learn today? Show me. And that's how I ended up just doing makeup for another year when I came back to Zim. But I want you to tell us about that journey from mixing the foundations to starting your own brand.
So that journey was really important because that is what made me really look out and know that there's more to makeup than just working behind the counter and selling it. You know, I went to school to become a real makeup artist.
Yeah.
And what that is basically understanding what makeup is, what it does, when to use it, where to use it. And, you know, I always talk about this all the time. Like, education is very important. You know, I went to a school where I spent so much money. $30,000 is a lot of money.
Amy.
Yeah, and $30,000 20 years ago is like a lot of money.
It's a lot of money now.
It is. To specify which arena I was going to go into, because there's makeup for TV, there's makeup for weddings, there's a makeup look
Jackie,
for
makeup
everything.
is just makeup.
It's not just makeup. You know, I was actually explaining to somebody today, and I said, you know, when you watch Hollywood movies, when we are makeup artists in Hollywood, when you watch a movie, you're not watching a movie and going, hey, my eyebrows there, they look crazy. And you get lost in the movie. That's what we want you to do, is get lost in the movie. And this is where, as a makeup artist, as an artist, I'm bringing reality and making you feel that you are in the movie, you're part of the movie, not concentrating on everything. Everything is attention to detail. And for you to have that, you have to go to school for it, because there's people that are experienced in that era.
Right.
You know, so that is what I was taught. You know, I do special effects makeup. You know, and special effects makeup, I need to do a bruise on you. I need to make you look like you are horror and not look like makeup. You know, you need to feel like, what is happening?
Aquara.
Yeah, so I went to school and I started working in Hollywood. And when I'm still working in Hollywood now.
Yeah.
Working on different faces, and specifically working on celebrities that are very conscious of how they look, because the public's perception is everything. You know, they come to us first to feel their roles, to feel who they are. And then they go out there
because you
to
make them
perform.
look the part.
Yeah, and they're trusting us, right? They can't see themselves on TV. They're trusting me to say, you look great. Everybody's going to think you look fantastic and fabulous.
Yeah.
And right there, seeing all these people, I remember coming home and looking, because there were companies that were the makeup was specifically made for rich people.
Ah. But
right?
weren't they like rich black people?
The rich black people in Zimbabwe were using the makeup, but it was all wrong, because it was made for white people.
That's the one that will end up leaving you looking ashy.
Yeah, because I would walk into Greatermans. I remember, you know, when we were kids, and people were very ashy. You know, the black liners. But we thought the women behind the counter looked amazing. Yeah. Right? Because that's what we were used to. Foundation would always leave a line by the neck. It's when I came back and went to visit, and I was like, we are looking crazy. Right. And I said, you know what? I want to have a brand that says, we're okay, let's accept ourselves, our complexions. It's really mainly the complexion is what
it's the complexion,
right?
Like you put your hand against your face and it looks like three different people.
Absolutely. You know why? Because the word light is right is a big thing, right? We talk about accepting ourselves and accepting our complexions.
Yeah.
I mean, till today, people are bleaching to be light. But what it is, it's not that they want to be white, it's they want to be noticed. So I wanted to bring a brand about so that you can be noticed.
Even
I don't
in
care
your
who you are. Every human being wants to be noticed. You want to be acknowledged. It's just human nature. You want somebody to say, hi, you look amazing. Imagine saying to somebody, hi, you look amazing. Hey, I say that to people here and people look at me like I have lost my mind.
Like no paying you. I look amazing.
You know, but boy, when you say you look amazing, you can even see somebody's shoulders.
Yeah. Yes.
And they walk straighter.
Confidence, kind of like I do that with men a lot.
Yes.
I do it with men because I am like working with women. So
Right.
I already know what a confidence booster can do to women.
Oh my
like when
God,
I'm like,
yes,
oh girl,
yes.
you're looking so good. Or if I just compliment one area
Yes.
of their appearance and be like,
100%.
hey, check your eyes. Oh girl, I like your hair. That's what change, right? But try it on men. My
So embarrassed, right?
Anivanyara. Anta kungachanda pasketebo.
I won't mention the celebrity, but I remember when they were first coming out and somebody told me about LL Cool J. I was like, why are we going far? We have a celebrity here that's freaking cute as ever. And then it's interesting because as I was leaving, he was coming in and I was like, you're so cute. And he was like, ah. Quantity cutie food.
Varume vanonyara.
I know, they get so
like
embarrassed.
it's almost like they struggle with self-acceptance. They struggle with, yeah, I know I look good. Like I try it. I do it here all the time.
Yeah.
Like I would just come in, wakachena, and I say, thanks.
Thanks.
And then and they're rushing and they want to run.
I know.
So with the self-acceptance, have you seen it that is it easier with women really? Or men are coming up to accepting that, you know what, I can take a compliment and I mustn't be shy to be told you look smart or you are handsome.
I think with men, it's all about masculinity. Because the thing is, if they're telling themselves they look amazing, right, inside.
We're hoping. They're
trying to because, you know, men are taught at a young age, kuti murume is to look like you're confident, right? You know, you sit up straight and you're walking straight and that's what it is. It's when you tell them, then it's a mixture of, am I being a little too feminine? Am I, you know, if you told, so it's that uncomfortability. But now, because of social media, a lot of guys are like, yeah, I want to look good. And I want people to tell me I look good. You know, this is why everybody's getting their haircuts and whatnot.
Fanenge baba kuma haircut kani. Maiwi. 0719100404. To the ladies that are tuned in right now, gents, I'll get to you in a bit. To the ladies that are tuned in right now, how does it make you feel when your man, whether it's your boyfriend or your husband, who after a haircut, they come through and, you know, they look at you and then it's just like, Bamwana. It shifts from Bamwana to hi, baby. I knew when my husband goes for a haircut. And Vatika, you know, like a nice haircut, shaped, right?
Shape my edges.
Neka fade, karibobo, vati beard trimming. Woo, Lord have mercy. Thank you, Jesus. Unengatsona kuti murume uyu is comfortable and knows that they look good. And you can't miss the whole connection between self-acceptance and happiness. Like if you accept yourself like truly, you'll be happy regardless. When I came in this morning, Yvonne was laughing at me and nama lashes nas. Shukanzi she was looking at my one of my ID documents and she says, you went to get your ID, Chichi, wakapfeka malashes, ndakati Yvonne, ndakabvisa malashes panapa, potato power. Self-acceptance, linking it with happiness.
So this is the deal. I truly believe that God made us not self-accept ourselves 100%. Because if we do that, then we go into the arrogant self.
Vanity,
right?
my name is.
Once you get into that arrogant vanity, then you miss out on the real world. And that is the purpose of who we are here, to make each other feel good. Imagine if you were like, I am so great. I'm 100% great. How are you going to see that other person that's not feeling that way? So I feel that self-acceptance is the journey until you die, because you discovering yourself all the time. Age, that's why people always say, I matured with age. That's self-acceptance, right? There's certain things that you wouldn't take when you were 20, but you take when you're 30. There's certain things that you take when you're 30, but you won't take when you're 40, because things are continuously changing. I really believe it's a lie to say, I know myself. No, you don't.
No, Jackie.
No, you don't. The world, you don't even know, because the world is constantly changing. Did you know yourself when COVID happened?
Oh no, I did not
Until
know
all
who
your
that. I
insecurities
don't know who
came.
that person was. That version of me.
Yeah.
I was like,
You know, people say, I'm not afraid of death. So why would, if you're not so afraid of death, then why are you fighting for life?
oof. Okay.
Right? You know,
Okay.
people, I'm not scared of death. Yes, you are. Everybody's afraid of death. This is why we have instincts of wanting to live. So I think that if you tell yourself, I have self-accepted, you should say, I've accepted myself at this moment.
At this
through
moment.
This journey.
So it's always at this moment.
Yes.
Acceptance.
And it should actually be at this second, because you don't know what's going to happen to you.
Like at 3 o'clock, I could be a
3
whole
o'clock.
different person. You know?
100%. That's why they say life can change like that.
Did you at any point struggle with accepting yourself?
Every day. Every single day. I literally have to wake up in the morning with prayer and then saying to myself my affirmations.
You just took this to a whole different. Okay.
And I tell the self-affirmation, and then I walk out through that door. Because self-acceptance is not about me. It's about how I'm treating people out there. Right? We all continuously searching for something and searching for ourselves. Right? The only time you actually really feel satisfied is when somebody feels like you've done something for them. Because as human beings, we need each other. That's just it. So sometimes something can happen and you are really pissed off, and you are rude. And then somebody says, you're so rude. The reason why you react to that is because you're like, oh, rude. Oh my God, I don't want to feel like that.
Yes, because your ego was questioned. Your ego.
100%.
Yeah. So everyone wants to be a good person.
Yeah.
No one wants to be told, oh, rude you.
Yeah. If somebody says, I don't care, they're lying. They're lying to themselves. You have to be a horrible murderer who has no feelings whatsoever and literally crazy for you not to feel for another human being. It's just, that's not how it works.
Yo, okay, I'm gonna take a moment. Because you know how many times we have said, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a
lie. It's a lie. We have to care for each other. That's why COVID was so difficult. You know what I love about being in Africa and being
Talk to us.
at home? I love the fact that I actually have community. You know, when people are overseas, Kunana London, Kunana America, do you know how lonely it is? It's extreme. I've been in America for 30 years, right?
Yeah.
People in America live their own lives. Ding dong, no, that doesn't happen. No. And when we get together, like, Americans will never accept Africans. This is why I'm so surprised when Africans go, to overseas and somebody's doing exceptionally well overseas and doesn't want to come home.
Africa is my home. I can feel it.
Let me tell you.
Like they say it a lot.
They do. Look, Carla is one of my biggest celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
She's coming to visit because she wants to understand why I'm so in love with my country. Right? I love Zimbabwe, and she wants to get it, because I said the spirit here, Carla, is just overwhelming. I'm here on radio and I can meet somebody in a bus and we can talk like tirihama. In America, I can be on radio and meet somebody in the bus and they're like, yeah, whatever. Do you understand the connection?
Yeah.
In Zimbabwe, we just connected that way. In Zimbabwe, I could be in trouble right now and know that somebody is going to come to the rescue. In America, that's why there's so many people that are homeless.
Yo. You are just opening like a whole Pandora's box right now. Like, I'm seeing this in a whole different perspective, because I'm now thinking the whole self-acceptance plays a bigger part when you're away from home even.
Oh my God.
Because
absolutely.
now you have to be okay with not being okay. You have to be okay with not having so and so talk to you, and you're just on about your own business. You're like, I'm enough.
Yeah, well, this
I'm
is
okay.
why at home, in America, when somebody says mental illness, it's more accepted and somebody wants to do something about it. Kunoku, people are like, Which are mental illness, because people need each other, right? That's why people go to therapy.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
So kunoku, it's a little bit better because you know that there is somebody that you can actually go and talk to and trust.
Okay.
Right? And then everybody comes together and tries to solve this thing and help you out. It doesn't happen in America. It doesn't happen in Europe. You're on your own. Is this what it is?
273 writes in and says, I was just chilling since we don't have electricity. And then I was like, wait, something is missing. And then I realized, damn, my radio is off. Becky is missing. I was like, yes, in comes Becky, the superhero. So she says, I took my mom's phone and switched on the radio. It feels so good. She's like, I feel so good right now. And they continue to write in and say, thank you for this conversation because I now realize I'm not alone. Even the great Jackie Muchanyuka with self-acceptance. I struggle with self-acceptance and confidence. And I'm just grateful to God that he gave me a good boyfriend. Is she not clinging to
somebody else?
To somebody else. What happens to the self-acceptance then in that light? Look at you playing doctor now.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that is a little bit harder, right? Again, it comes with maturity. Listen, we'll always have somebody that we are attaching ourselves to.
Okay, right. So that's okay.
We'll always have that.
We'll always have it.
Right. The danger is now seeing that person like that person is your God.
Okay, where you take the guru to be the God.
Yes.
Like, don't do that.
Like now you like, this is, I worship him. This is everything to me. Look, I've been married for a very long time.
No, tell us how long, Jackie. You were
30 years.
Thank you.
Okay. I love my husband.
30
and I'm
years.
attached to my husband. Very much attached to my husband. But akandisiya nasi. I will cry. I will think, oh my God, what am I going to do? But let me tell you something. My ass will survive.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
I'll survive. The only thing that concerns me about this young lady, because I'm assuming she is young, is she is depending on a boyfriend, right? Boyfriends come and go, right?
Yeah, boyfriends come and go.
Husbands come and go, but it's a little harder.
It's
because you're attached.
Like, think twice.
Husband is like a contract.
Yes. Like, he will leave, but he will like
leave,
think about it.
It'll be like a slow journey. I talk to later, never speak to you again. And you can't release slowly.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, you can't go to it's a little heartbreaking. So I think, right, as we talk about self-acceptance, I think you have to find that love of self. Right?
But don't we...
There's a difference in self-acceptance. There's a difference in loving yourself.
Okay, self-acceptance is, just breaking it down, is you are accepting yourself the way they are.
Right. And again, right? If you really accepted yourself the way you are,
you're about to say something deep right now.
We wouldn't be wearing all these clothes and saying, as we are. Come as you are. Right?
You know, which part are we accepting?
This is the thing.
Because growing up, you're told if they don't love you like that, then stay away from them. And then we grow up into adulthood.
Let me tell you something. Culturally, right? When we go for when we go or somebody, there's certain costumes or things that we are supposed to wear and we're supposed to act.
You're right. Oh yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like to be self-accepted, do you think, why would we just go there, take a figure, this is my point, right? There's a difference with self-acceptance because as human beings, we have to adjust ourselves in certain areas because we have to acclimate to those areas, right? I think that whole self-acceptance thing should be put on the side. It's the love yourself. The love yourself. Loving yourself does not necessarily mean you have to love everything about you because you're dope.
Okay.
Right? This is why God made kuti tigezi. And, you know, I wouldn't be a makeup artist if it wasn't for him.
We thank God for those who don't truly accept themselves.
you're not, you have to, that's why I said you have to tell yourself every day these things. Not everybody's waking up in the morning and say, I've self-accepted myself. People that say that loudly are trying to self-accept themselves, and they have to say it louder than everybody else because they have issues. It's just what it is. The louder I say it to everybody else, the more I'm saying it to myself.
Send through your contribution 0719100404. We're talking about self-acceptance. Hearing Jackie talk about self-acceptance makes me want to just look into the mirror and say nice things to myself.
You have to. Oh my God, this is why affirmations are so... Listen, why do you think we all go to church? Because somebody has to tell us we are loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that person that's telling us we are loved is our pastors. But the pastor also has to be told he's loved as much as he says that, oh my gosh, I'm out here. Sir, you need somebody else to tell you, or ma'am, you need somebody else to tell. Because we're human beings. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
So loving yourself, going into the mirror and going, I love you. I love you, eyes. Thank you for...
Jackie, what you're saying is very difficult because, listen, okay, difficult for some.
Right.
For me now, it's something I can do, like, ugh, please, I don't need to be told. I can look at myself and like, eat your chaka penga, right? But
that's coming from a vanity point. And vanity is not exactly bad. That's coming from a vanity
That's coming from a vanity point. Right. What about, like, what you're talking about right now? Mm-hmm. Like, you look at yourself in the mirror and then you say something nice.
I'm coming from a grateful point.
Like, I love you. Like, you're looking at yourself and saying...
I'm coming from a grateful point in the sense that...
Okay.
Thank God I have eyes. There's somebody that can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I have a nose.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody that doesn't have a mouth. Thank God I have a mouth.
Right.
Right?
So
that's
there's
coming from a gratitude point.
So there's self-acceptance or pumping yourself up from a vanity point of view.
Absolutely.
And then there's from a grateful point of view.
Right.
Do we need to balance the two, or like, hey, let's focus more on the...
You have to balance the two. You have to. Because this is the deal. Vanity is a lie. Because
it's fickle.
It's fickle. It's a vanity is a lie only because you're not going to love how you look every single day. Sometimes I should bro,
sometimes
I should
what video
you're looking at yourself like, what the hell?
Easy.
Sometimes I should that's vanity.
Yeah,
that vanity life is vanity life, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about loving yourself from a gratitude point of view.
I
where
like that.
You're saying to yourself, if I don't love this enough, I'm looking at God going, oh, okay, so somebody else needs it, so I have to just take this thing away. You know? So it's from a grateful point of view. Listen, when I'm feeling like my body is vanity, I'll be like, my body's not great. My butt is too big, right? And then all of a sudden, I go into my gratitude mode because I'm like, Lord, please help me to be a little bit more humble, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he just clicks and I see something, or I hear somebody, and then I'm like, I love it, God, just leave it.
Yes, and then you're like, ooh, I will deal with it.
I will deal with it. But it's
Um,
okay to feel a certain way. You just have to come back.
I like that whole aspect that you brought in. Like, it's okay to be like, for Vanity, my name is, but after Vanity, my name is, come back and be like, God, I'm so grateful
100%.
that I can have these things to accept.
That's why there's mirrors, okay? Mirrors came up because people were vain.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah, they had to look at them. Because remember, Gujara was in my mirrors. And then somebody glanced and was like, damn, I look fine.
And they were like, yes. This is all me. So our writer says, no, Becky, finish my sentence. So she says, I'm grateful to God that he gave me a good boyfriend, right? Mm-hmm. And this year, he taught me 3 things. This is the boyfriend who has taught her 3 things. Acceptance, empowerment, and reflection. And it's been helping. I now look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, girl, you look beautiful today, and I believe it. So she's like, no, please don't judge me. I'm not attached to him like that. I'm not dependent on him. I'm just like, God gave me a good boyfriend who taught me those things. And it's great that you guys are talking about self-acceptance today.
We're not judging you, girl,
Yeah.
because I think we've all been there.
I was just a bit worried on the
Thank God for my boyfriend. I'm like, okay.
right. And then 896 writes in and says Geresenzia. You remember that drama? Angena Paraffin acting as Geresenzia.
Yes.
Yeah, that was self-acceptance on a whole on a whole new level. All right, so this is you in Hollywood doing things. You just spoke about how Americans themselves don't like really truly accept Africans. Did that bother you? Because you had to fit in. You had to. I mean, for you to even you even to start working in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, there's Americans who want that job.
Oh, 100%.
And then here's Jackie.
An African. Yeah.
From Zimbabwe. Not just an African. From
Zimbabwe.
From Zimbabwe.
Right.
And is nailing this job. Not only are you doing the job, you're like exceptionally good at it. And then they're looking like
What's wrong with you?
They gave her that job.
Well, do you know what's really interesting? There's very few of us as black people in my industry and do what we do. So most makeup artists and hairstylists that are black are doing black people. And these black people and celebrities have grown up in Ivanawa from when they were really young.
Okay.
And then they take them with them to the rise, right? So I'm in the union. It's a makeup union. And there's very few of us. Isusu maboy acho, right? Most people are not in makeup union. They're in the hairstylist union because my black Americans are not hairstylists more
than makeup.
like on a special effects makeup and all that stuff, right?
Okay.
So the thing is, I didn't really have to fight that much or see that much acceptance because there's nobody that I was really competing with, right?
Except other black.
Yeah. Well, the great part about being an African from Southern Africa is right? So there's nothing like that British. They call it the British accent. They love it and they see beyond that. It's like you just kind of get yourself in there because Varungu love it. When you have an accent, they love it. You're just like, hello, how are you? And they're like, oh my gosh, are you a princess in Africa? I could be anything you want me to be. Not just
yes,
so.
yes. And then you can be like, you know what, at this point I want this job so bad.
Right.
So yeah, good day.
Yeah, good day. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
you will good day.
So I got in, but now, there's a lot more competition because there's a lot more people that are coming in, and that's where you kind of see it. Judge us so because you're African.
Yeah.
But what's so beautiful about it? Then I come in, very politically correct, and start talking about my Zimbabwe. Because
yes, okay.
And there's nothing like getting a person and
like, show me your village.
This is it. Because somebody will come in and say, I'm like, where are you from? And they're like, Compton. I'm like, wonderful. I'm from Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, oh, so where's that? And I'm like, Southern Africa.
And then now they're checking you like,
of course, because I have a history. It's nothing like having a history. Roba. Purity.
Would you say that was like your superpower in like getting accepted in that industry and working with the people that you work with? Because we've seen the snippets that you posted, and you're with Anna LL Cool J, and you're with Anna Samuel L. Jackson, and like all the superstar Americans that we can think of. Jackie has had a picture or a video with them, but in this video we can tell you are not forcing them.
Yes.
It's really flawless. It's really like, oh, Jackie, you want to do a video? Sure, let's do a video. Like, hey, everybody. And you're like, wow, Jackie, you got this person to do what? Was that your superpower, or did you do extra stuff?
No. So, that talk about self-acceptance again, right? You have to understand something. The reason why there's like a lot of blackness, black power, blackness in America is because and it's just very difficult because you really want to know. You want to belong. Again, like I say, everybody wants to belong, right? So when you get to the States, because they know right? They know I'm from somewhere. The confidence that I bring, ndichiziya kuti nini anasekuru nanambuya are sitting
You should
here.
see Jackie's face, guys. Jackie just moved.
I know.
Jackie just moved.
And when I go into environments like that, I understand the power that these people have, but then I also understand my power, because I understand that I'm going into an environment where ndrukuna matirwa for me to be in that position. So I can't be arrogant enough to say I got in there by myself. So I'm bringing the pride. When I'm in there, every Zimbabwean is on my shoulder.
And you're like, I'm representing you, y'all.
This is why, for me, Carla coming, it is important for all of us to be like,
let's talk about Carla coming,
Yes.
because I mean that's big.
That's massive.
And for her to accept
exactly
that, you know what, Jackie has taught me that Anekumba, Jackie has a whole life outside what she is living here in Hollywood,
Absolutely.
and she wants to come and experience that life. What was that conversation like with her?
Right. So for anybody that doesn't know who Carla Hall is one of the biggest food chef celebrities. She's on Food Network. And I started working with her about 6 years ago.
Right.
And I would always talk about Zimbabwe all the time. And I would also talk about how celebrities come in here, but they're coming in here, someone's paying for them to come in. I want them to come on their own dime, right?
Yeah.
And spend time with us and also give us a little nugget on their expertise. Because again, America, the reason why America seems to be the place to go for education is because everyone from around the world are coming together to learn one thing, and that's how you can build the expertise. So Carla said, I want to spend my dollar and come into Zimbabwe, give my nuggets of education, walk out of there and feel like I'm part of something. And the only country that I can feel like that is a friend's country, because you are going to talk about our journey, our story.
Yeah.
And people are going to relate. So Carla was like, girl, let's go.
I'm there. Let's do
And
it.
what's even more amazing is she paid for her sous chef to come. She wrote to me yesterday and she was like, Jackie, I got donations for knives for chefs in Zimbabwe. How can I mail them? And then she says, we're going to go I think it's called foraging. Like when you go out there in the middle of nowhere and start taking, like, you know, the natural resources. She said, we're going to take all the natural resources and we're going to start cooking in the middle of nowhere. I know.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And that is self-acceptance of being an African. I don't want to go to America and pretend I'm British or I'm South African. I don't want to do that. When I go to places, I want to say, I don't care how hard Zimbabwe is.
I'm Zimbabwean.
I'm Zimbabwean. This is my home. I don't want to pretend like I'm anything else. I love my country.
So we've got people asking for your picture. They were like, please put Jackie on the DP. Put her.
I love it.
Go to Jackie Mgido on Facebook, on Instagram. You will see Jackie's picture, or you can also go on to Capi Talk 100.4 FM on Facebook. We are live right now. 5182. Well, really just 182. 182 writes in and says, hi, Jackie. Hi, Becky. I was a little caught aback by what Jackie said about Black Americans. I've always been fascinated by them and their behavior and state of being. Would Jackie say Black Americans feel lost in a sense?
Yes, of course they do. And this is why they're always searching, right? You know what I love about America, though? America did such a great job to tell us all that we are nothing. That's why everybody wants to be an American, right?
Yes.
But what people don't understand is America is a mixture of people from all over the world that have made America. So if we can understand that, then we'll be able to say, you know what, Manu, what we should be admiring about America is the finishing touch of things.
Okay.
So if they're doing furniture, they finish off the furniture. If they're doing clothes, they finish off the clothes.
Like there's no strings hanging. Like
Panika
everything is
touch.
Panika
that's
finishing.
We should be admiring the craftsmanship, not the individuals. Because it really saddens me when I watch people trying to have an American accent. I'm like, first of all, that's not exactly how they say it. And secondly,
Usada apa munhu anenge ata 2 minutes ari pa airport.
only
Pa
you,
JFK.
Kuti, your accent is actually more valuable.
But okay, I've got friends who are in the States, and there was a time when I would talk to them. Now we don't talk as often. But they were there like the first few years when they were there. I would speak to them and I'll ask them, like, why do you sound like that already? Like you haven't been there 2 minutes. And she's like, iwe, ukatara zvakanaka vakunzwi.
That's not true.
And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, the other day ku hostel today. Are you sure you're speaking to an American? So they were like, no, it's if you speak in our normal accent. I'm like,
I mean, unless you have the accent, you could have but really, if I tell everybody, when you're going overseas, your accent man, because that's when they're really gonna be like, you are different. Everybody wants something different.
Yeah, and then so why are you going to America to sound American?
Doesn't even make any sense.
Like,
you sound
hello.
Stupid.
Anzana Jackie, stop it. Stop it right now.
Stop it.
It's 7 minutes to 2 o'clock. In this segment of Adulting, we had Jackie Muchanyuka. All of you are asking, is a picture? And squeeze a picture, Jackie. And type her Facebook and type her Instagram, Jackie Mgido. You will find her there. Or if you just type Mgido, I don't know about that shit. I know about that shit. She's the founder of Vault Cosmetics. Jackie, I know you grew up with lots of brothers. What impact did they have in accepting the fact that, yeah, this is what your life is going to be like? You're going to have these guys around. They're going to be your protector. They're going to be your fighters. They're going to be like your father figures at some point. There's someone listening right now. Maybe she's lost a brother, or they've lost a brother, or they've got a brother that they're not getting along with in this whole journey of self-acceptance as a woman.
You have to understand something. Culturally, our brothers are raised to be our fathers, and there's a lot of pressure in that. And a lot of times what happens when you're growing up and your brother starts telling you what to do, not to do, I need to be the same age, blah, blah, blah. But our brothers are taught to be fathers. So you have to be more patient with them and let them do their role.
Okay.
What's beautiful about brothers is then you can talk to them as your sibling to remind them, you are my brother, I'm growing, but I still do want that father figure. Because brothers are very comforting. I grew up with a lot of brothers that would go to parties and crash parties and want to beat up the guys and beat up the guys. I remember in Bulawayo, like I told you,
there's a difference between wanting to beat up the guys and actually beating them up.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we went to a party and my brother
story
beat up
for another day.
All the guys and
locked the gate.
And locked the gate on them. And, you know, all the guys didn't want to date me in Bulawayo because of that. But later on,
but here we
protectors.
Are. Here we are, married 30 years.
Yeah.
We thank God. No, they deserve a round of applause. Where are my hands? There we go.
Yes. Brothers.
Let's clap hands for the brothers. Thank you. With 5 minutes left before we step down, my last question is, this is from 273. My last question is, what advice would Jackie give to a young girl who feels insecure without makeup?
Ooh, insecure without makeup?
Yes, like I cannot go and buy bread. I have to put an eyebrow or something. Not down the road.
I think that they should go through the process of feeling insecure. Get a mentor that is going to talk you through that it's not about your looks. Again, spiritually, accepting, gratitude. If you're grateful, you'll be okay with it. So they need to find a spiritual partner. And that doesn't necessarily mean someone that we don't change. Somebody who understands gratitude.
Hey. Wait, come again. Because if you tell me I need to find someone spiritual, I'm looking for a man of God. I'm looking for that guy. I need my all-night prayer. That's what I'm looking for.
No, you're looking for somebody who is grateful. That's a spiritual person. Somebody who is grateful. Because when somebody is grateful, anochka to do things because that are harmful to another person. Yeah, somebody who's great, somebody who's got gratitude, but you know what, I don't want to be mean. You know why I don't want to be mean? because I don't want to feel like that. Yeah.
Amazing stuff. Jackie Mgido, Pulses. This was absolutely amazing. 3 minutes to 2 o'clock, and you're tuned into Capitalk 100.4 FM, Harare's Heartbeat. Jackie, when are you returning?
I am returning after we have like that event, which I don't know if you can talk about here, but but I understand how this goes.
No, you can say it. You're going back after the elections.
No, I'm going back on not that event.
Oh, there's what is
event
bigger
up
than
in
the
Volkswagen
elections?
business.
Why didn't you talk about
So
it?
look, guys, this is the deal. I went into Zodwa's wardrobe and I took a whole bunch of stuff. Her and I are putting this event together where we are teaching girls to have a trade. I said to her, you give me your clothes, I sell them in the store. That money goes to buying a kit. We teach girls how to have their own braba. And that's it.
Wow.
So I'm selling a bunch of her clothes for like $20.
When are you having it? I'm coming to collect some
From
things.
12 to 4 o'clock at Volt Studios on Sunday.
On Sunday.
Imagine.
All right. That is Jackie Mgido.
I love you guys.
You're absolutely amazing. Jackie Mgido stepping out, and that was our edition of Adulting, and we were talking about self-acceptance. If you missed this interview or this chat or this chill session, you can re-watch it on our Facebook. And then we have a very ambitious listener.
To give all that I have, all that I have, to God, all that I have, all that I have, Almighty God, take care